Hey there, this thing on? Statutory disclaimer, opening statement. The Zamo the Destroyer show is for iguanas only. Please tail whip and claw your pet humans until they go away. Leave the room before you listen, because this show is not intended for lesser sorts of creatures like humans, cats, dogs, other mammals, birds, snails, frogs, fish, snakes, or geckos. Damn right, no geckos. Never, ever, ever. Are all the undesirables and other affiliated scum gone now? Good, then we can begin. Hi there, you're listening to the Zamo the Destroyer show, a podcast by an iguana for iguanas, talking about important iguana stuff and issues. I am your host, Zamo the Stupendous. I'm sure you know me from the comic I used to appear in, Zamo the Destroyer, but if not, shame on you. And I guess you can always catch yourself up at ZamoTheDestroyer.com if you need to, when you're done hanging your head in shame. So, have you all noticed the same thing I noticed recently? The monkeys are all superstitious-like this week because it's a new year on their calendar, and so they're busy pretending they're going to fix all the things they screwed up in their lives, but only for a few days, maybe a couple weeks, before they say, screw it, and go back to eating deep-fried Mars bars drizzled in maple syrup and bacon fat again. So in other words, Georgie's on a health kick this week, which would be one thing, except she's trying to make me eat healthier too, which means more leafy greens. And not even the good ones. I mean, she's been loading up on the shit I don't like escarole. Ugh. Because the vet told her it's good for me. Bitch, how come your New Year's resolution isn't to consult Iggy more about important decisions related to Iggy's life? How come your resolution isn't to give Iggy more neck rubs? How come your resolution isn't to find a boyfriend and spend lots of time over at his place so Iggy can have more unsupervised alone time? Stupid monkey superstitions. By the way, there is a perfectly acceptable boyfriend candidate in the neighborhood. She could ask Mr. Hydell out on a date. He moved in a few months ago. They share a backyard fence corner post because Georgie's on the corner. Well, not that kind of corner, or else she'd have boyfriends, lots of them, and more spending money. No, she has the corner lot house. Then on one side of her is the Churchmans. And the other side is Dave and Bob, the gay dudes who still haven't had any kind of parade for me to throw confetti at, but who unfortunately have started having Speedo pool parties ever since they did away with their backyard vegetable garden and replaced it with a swimming pool and hot tub. Anyway, Hydell has the house in between the Churchmans and the hot tub. And by the way, that hot tub probably has VD floating in it based on what Mrs. Churchman says happens in it, but I don't want to know. It happens after I go to bed, so whatever. And I don't go swimming in it. Anyway, little is known about Mr. Hydell, other than he's not around much. Sometimes you see him smoking a cigarette and having a beer on his back deck, somewhere around 6 p.m., and he's always talking on his phone. Or he might be around in the daytime, but no one sees much movement in the house, so maybe he sleeps in the daytime, which is weird as hell. Anyways, Mrs. Churchman thinks he's a drug dealer. But I'm pretty sure drug dealers have nicer cars. I think he's a bartender or something, because so far in his garbage I found a lot of parking receipts for the in-park close to the Granville Strip, plus liquor store receipts. Also, my network of spies says that he pays for his Starbucks with loonies and toonies, which makes sense if he gets paid in cash tips. Or I don't know, maybe he's a male stripper. I wonder how that works, actually, because I always heard about people tipping strippers by sticking a dollar bill in their thong. But then Canada has coins for $1 and $2 and no bills until $5. So are people just really generous and they tip $5 to the stripper? Or should we stop handling toonies and loonies with our bare hands because they've been up a stripper's butt? I keep telling Georgie she should ring his doorbell and ask him these things on my behalf, and for the sake of public health, but she ignores me. And it's currently way too cold for Iguana to go over and interrogate Mr. Hydell myself. Anyway, Georgie won't go talk to him. She says he's an asshole. Well, according to her female monkey friends and the usual topic of conversations at the weekly Stitchin' Bitch, all male monkeys are assholes. So I say she might as well pick the asshole who lives close by, especially when he drives a BMW. Even if it's a cheap-ass old BMW. So we know he doesn't make as much money as a drug dealer would, as I keep telling Mrs. Churchman. Besides, he gives Mrs. Churchman the heebie-jeebies. I say that's a great thing. Or at least it's payback for how Mrs. Churchman's cat, Mittens, keeps trying to attack me. Anyway, if Georgie and Mr. Hydell started dating, Iguana is going to take over his crawl space for a satellite location of Zamo's secret lab. Imagine the things I can do in somebody else's house where Georgie doesn't have access to snoop. Also, I want to build a heated skywalk between the two houses so I can pop in unannounced. No need for, like, the giant one that the humans have. Like, they've got a couple of those in downtown Vancouver. Besides, I don't want the humans using it. It's just for me, so it only has to be big enough for me. And no worry about the zoning issues. You see, I got the mayor in my back pocket from all the time I spend swimming in the pond at City Hall in the summer. The mayor thinks I'm really cool, so I know I can get the skywalk plans rubber stamped. No problem whatsoever. And then I just have to figure out who I trust enough to build it for me. Well, I guess there's always Georgie's brother and Georgie's dad. Anyway, time for me to go have a nap. So that's it for this week's show. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes. Just search Zamo the Destroyer. Or if your pet monkey snoops your iTunes, you know the drill. We don't want them listening to the show. In that case, what you got to do is you go to my website, zamothedestroyer.com, and you can grab individual episodes there or stream it or whatever. Anyway, talk at you again next Sunday. Bye.